We made our basic pie crust and have chilled it overnight in our plastic wrap. I always label the many pie crusts that I make because I need to know which one I'm using for what. I always use my saran wrap as my base, and then I put another saran wrap on top to flatten it out with my rolling pin. And then it helps me transfer the crust to the pie plate. So here's a lovely crust. And we're going to layer our crust with 2 saran wraps, our trusty rolling pin. Once we roll out our dough, we're going to put it in a preheated oven of 350 and bake it for a few minutes before I put in our pumpkin pie filling. And this works out because then you don't have to flour the whole counter and make a huge mess. And then you know you can measure up your disc. It's easy to transfer. Some people also use parchment paper, but plastic wrap does fine for me. So, as this, we flip and roll pin the other side so we can make it nice and even. You know that's kind of hard. And roll pin for every angle. Treat it like a square and you'll get a perfect round crust. Kind of weird, square, round, whatever, but it works out. You can make a pie crust too. We can all do it. If you have 5 minutes to sit in front of the TV, you have 5 minutes to listen to the TV and make a pie crust. See, we'll smooth it out into a nice circle, and it's pretty much even. There's no one side thicker than the other. You see there's that 1-inch edge over. Get our, if you don't have a round pan or anything like that, you can get a plate. Take off our first layer of saran wrap. Don't throw away your saran wrap because you'll need it for the next pie crust, unless you're done. So, as we see, 1 inch, because you need that space, because don't forget it has to sink into the pie plate. Take off the first saran wrap, we have the pie crust, flip it, and then push it down in the center to get rid of all that excess air. We're going to put this in the freezer for 15 minutes, or you can put it in the fridge for an hour overnight. Whatever you fancy or whatever you have time for. I'm going to crimp up the sides, tuck it down. All the stuff that crumbles out, I tend to just throw it back in. Crumbly, it's better to have it crumbly than too play-doughy because then it's going to be too tough. This will be nice and flaky. Remember, you want a little bit of edge so you can scoop out the pie. So we're going to put our pie in the freezer now. We've crimped them. Made a nice little crimpy there. We're going to make another, do another pie crust. Pinch, pierce your pie crust with a fork. Stick it in the freezer 15 minutes. We're going to do the next pie crust.